What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel, and welcome to episode 2 of the CoolFigurez Weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast, where we, of course, we're going to have a special co-guest host later on in this episode. But first, we're going to get to some toy news and, of course, this week's toy haul. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel's all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and, of course, playing with them. I upload new content constantly throughout the week, so make sure you hit that bell icon so you stay notified when I do upload new videos. And if you do happen to enjoy this video or any of my other ones, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know you guys are enjoying the content I'm putting out. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least one new subscriber per new video that I put, so please be my one new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. And if you guys want to support the channel in any way, all I ask is that you watch my videos from start to finish. That's it. As always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. Well, at least for the first half of this video, then I will introduce my co-host. But for right now, it's just me. And with that being said, guys, it is a big episode 2. We have a lot to go over. I thought episode 1 was a big episode starting on Comic-Con week, but in fact, this week is a big episode. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to do. So let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So the timestamps will be posted down below, so that way you guys can jump around, because we are going to be talking about different things. Like I said, I am going to have a separate co-host later on in this episode where we are going to talk a little Snake Eyes movie. No spoilers. We're just going to go over what we thought about the movie, if we enjoyed it, whatnot. And we also dive into a bin of unopened Star Wars toys that I have from my childhood, so stick around for that. But like I said, they'll all be timestamped below if you don't have the time to watch the whole video. So first and foremost, I just wanted to say that I just recently celebrated my 1-year anniversary of being here on YouTube. It was this past Tuesday, in fact. It was the World of Halo Warthog with Master Chief video that I put out. That was my 1-year anniversary date. I just want to say thank you so much to each and every single one of you that have hit that like button, that have commented, that have hit that subscribe button, or even those of you that haven't hit that subscribe button, like button, or even commented and just stop by every once in a while to say hi and what's up. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad you guys stop by every once in a while, and everybody that subscribes, you guys stop by even more. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I didn't even realize that I had started this basically the week before my 1-year anniversary, so that was really cool when I realized it, when I looked at my calendar and everything. And then it just kind of came up real quick for me. So yeah, guys, it was a fun year, and I hope to have many more years with you guys, and I hope to grow and connect with more collectors, because that's the whole reason I started this page, this channel. In fact, talking about connecting with other collectors and whatnot, we're gonna that kind of ties in with our next thing. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's haul before the toy news. So first and foremost, we're gonna look at this massive one right here, which is of course the Black Series First Order Stormtrooper helmet. I'm not too big on the sequels. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not here to debate that. I'm not here to argue that with anybody. You like what you like. I like what I like. I'm here to talk toys, and that's it. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm not too big on the prequels, or I mean the sequels. But the reason I bought this one is because, as you see behind me here, I don't know if they're kind of covered up by everything here, but I do have the Clone Trooper helmet and the Stormtrooper helmet. And when they announced this one, the only thing I saw was this picture. And it's basically just the evolution of the helmets and whatnot, and I thought it'd be really cool to have, and I was right. So that's the only real reason I bought this helmet, was to have that evolution. But in terms of like sequel stuff, I'm not really too into. But continuing on from there, we'll go ahead and stick with the theme of Star Wars. I recently connected with a fellow collector in my area. Shout out to Robert. He helped me out not just once by helping me find this Wrecker figure, but twice by also helping me find this McFarlane Target exclusive blue and red Superman. So shout out to him. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. And that's really what the collecting community and spirit should be about, guys. Connecting with people in your area and helping each other. There's so many Targets and Walmarts that we constantly go to. If you connect with people in your area, it really helps you. And if you kind of have an idea of what they're looking for, they have an idea what you're looking for, you come across something, you just shoot them a quick, picture, text real quick, like, hey, you still need this? And, everything works out great, So I'm hoping to find something that he's looking for. I have kind of an idea of what he hunts and whatnot, so I'm hoping I can find something that he's looking for and return the favor to him. So once again, thank you so much, Robert, for hooking it up and finding not only one but 2 finds this week, which is both the Wrecker and the McFarlane Target exclusive blue and red Superman. So talking about the Wrecker, this guy is super cool. My original pre-order wasn't supposed to come until October from Amazon. And so thankfully he found this guy in the wild, actually at my local Target that I just didn't go to that day. I was kind of busy doing other stuff with work and whatnot, so I couldn't go hunting. But he thankfully picked one up for me. And I'm not going to go too much into detail with him. I'll go ahead and show you guys what he looks like real quick, because you guys will be getting a full review of this guy Tuesday of this week, because I have Superman slated for Monday. So he does come with a removable helmet. So that's really cool. You can see his face right there. And it is a pretty decently sized figure. Like, I'm not going to lie, especially when you compare him to like Hunter and Crosshairs. And you'll see all that in my review on Tuesday. So sticking with basically what he helped find me, let's go ahead and take a look at the McFarlane Superman. Now, if you guys haven't seen my black suited Superman, I kind of basically say that Henry Cavill is my favorite version of Superman. Obviously, you know, Christopher Reeves is always going to be the classic original. Kind of like Michael Keaton's always, or Adam West technically is going to be always the original Batman and whatnot. But this is my Superman. I really like his portrayal of Superman and how he not only embodied the image of him, but he also embodied his personality. Even though they try to make him a dark and grittier version, I feel like Henry Cavill really took it and made it the best that he could. And I'm not only a fan of him as Superman, I also like him obviously in Mission Impossible, like many others. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. And obviously, you know, I've seen a few episodes of the Witcher series from Netflix, and he's really good in that. And so I have the black suit of Superman. Like I said, I do have a review up on that from about a week or two ago. It's up on my channel now. But I definitely wanted this version because I know for a fact we're probably never going to get a Man of Steel Superman from the McFarlane line. So this is the closest we're going to get. So if you guys want a blue and red Henry Cavill Superman, I highly recommend you start going hunting your targets. The ones I called said it's registered locked till August 8th. But as you can see, my friend Robert was able to find one and buy one for me, and I obviously paid him back and whatnot, but he was able to find 2, actually, one for him and one for me, at 2 different Target locations, and they both sold it to him. So it shouldn't be registered lock even if you call and that's what they tell you, but they may not have put him out yet. That's the other thing, though. So some Targets will, some Targets won't. Just be on the lookout. But I absolutely love this figure. Like I said, his review will be coming out on Monday. As you can see, I'm going off on a tangent with him. I absolutely love this figure. The day I got him, I couldn't put him down. I was just like messing with him, taking cool pics of him. I instantly started taking pics of him. So yeah, guys, it'll be a fun review to do. So moving on from that, while I was actually hunting this guy before Robert found him, the day before, I went to Target and I came across the Tim Murphy Jurassic Park Ford and T-Rex bundle. Now this is, I believe, a Target exclusive for $50, and I could not pass up on this. I saw it instantly, and Jurassic Park is one of my top 5 favorite movies. There's 5 movies, and they're all represented in my room. One of these days, I have to do a tour of my room. If you guys want a tour of my display room, or technically it's my room, but it's also my display room, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try to get on that. But Jurassic Park is definitely in that top 5, along with Back to the Future, Dark Knight, Revenge of the Sith, and TMNT 1990. So I could not pass this up. I feel like most of the toys from the Amber collection and the Legacy collection have been going on clearance and whatnot, but I feel like this being such a big product and from a key scene in the movie, that a lot of people are going to jump on it. And not only that, but I feel like since it's such a big product, Hasbro probably saw that their other items weren't doing so well and going more on clearance than anything, so they didn't produce too many of these. Don't quote me on that. I don't have any insider information. Just speaking from a business standpoint, it would make sense that they wouldn't overproduce this item since it's a larger one. They really wouldn't want this to go on clearance. They would want full price, and if they only produce a limited amount, obviously pre-orders are going to get filled, and those that are really hunting it. So I could not pass this up and wait for it to go on clearance, and possibly not even go on clearance and just be gone. So I went ahead and picked it up. This will be coming on Wednesday for reviews. But this is really cool because it comes with the Jeep right here, like I said, and it comes with Tim Murphy, and of course the little goggles, and of course the giant T-Rex that they face in the movie at that particular scene as well. This Jeep is really cool. All the doors open. It is movable, and the top does kind of move down, so when this head goes in. So that's really cool. Like I said, the review for this will be airing on Wednesday. Now, like I said in my previous episode and week, I did recently get into the World of Halo line because of all the clearance prices they've been going on with. And I know you guys are probably saying, you got that on your desk last week. Yes, I did by now, but I found another 2-pack of them. And the Warthog has 2 seats, so I need another Marine. And I could always use another, bad guy alien to fill out the scene. So I went ahead and picked that up. In fact, I picked it up for, I believe, $3 to $4 cheaper at a different Target than the first one that I bought. So they vary in price. You just got to find it. And then I personally just wanted a brute because I had seen them before, but I had no reason to buy one because I wasn't in the line. But now that I was in the line, I had an elite, I had some grunts. I was like, you know what? The next logical one to buy would be a brute. I know a jackal was needed, but I'm waiting for the 3-pack of Master Chief, the Spartan, and the jackal to go on clearance. I'm sure that will go on clearance soon. They've been shelf warming. They're not on clearance just yet, but when they do, I'm probably going to pick that up to add the jackal and add a Spartan to the collection, other than Master Chief. So with that being said, guys, that is all of this week's haul. All of these reviews will be, the brute will be up on Thursday. I don't do reviews on helmets because I never had the actual space to do the reviews on. So I'm just going to do a quick little review of it right now. So I'm going to pull it forward so you guys can take a nice look at it center stage. It is absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I'm not big on sequel merchandise, but I have to admit these Black Series helmets are exceptionally cool. And like I said, I love troopers like clone troopers, stormtroopers, and all that. Most of my collection is that. So I went ahead and purchased this so that way I can have the evolution phase right there on my display. And I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. And it's really nice, really detailed, really glossy and shiny, kind of like the Mando helmet. I was really thinking it was going to be matte, the Mando helmet, but it actually came pretty shiny for what it is. So I was really happy about that. So with that being said, guys, that is all the toys I got this week. So let's go ahead and move on to some toy news. So obviously we're going to open up with some McFarlane. So if you have not heard already, I'm sure you guys have, McFarlane recently saved DC Direct, thankfully. I was really sad when DC Direct closed because I do have a few DC Direct items in terms of Batman stuff, a few busts. I'm trying to see what I have right now, a statue. And obviously the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Batman. All those figures were DC Direct line. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring us. And he also announced his own official store, which is going to be amazing to see what he has. Hopefully it will be a lot easier to hunt down McFarlane figures on his store. He'll have stock on there first. Well, I don't know. They have deals with stores, so I'm sure I'm just hoping that eventually his stock will move to his store after the exclusivity, moves or comes off, kind of like with the gold label and certain figures at Target that usually are red. So with that being said, he did tease his Bane Mega figure, which does look like the same one as the Build-A-Figure that came in the Last Night on Earth wave, which now you're telling me I didn't have to spend $125 plus pick up a figure that I didn't even want to get this wave or to get this Bane. It's kind of a little pissy, but it is what it is. I mean, if he adds a little extra accent paints to the veins, like a little green paint to the veins and to the hoses and everything, it may be a little worth it for me to pick up another one. But if not, but the thing is, that Build-A-Figure is so poorly put together. If it's put together the same way, I don't think I'd be willing to buy it. But if it's not put together the same way as the Build-A-Figure, I think I'd be willing to buy it just to have a more secure, put-together Bane. But I honestly hope he does a classic style Bane. That's what I'm really hoping for. And now that he has DC Direct save, I mean, he may have the license to do the animated series, and hopefully he can do the 2 versions of the animated series of Bane from the Adventures of Batman and Robin and the animated series, how it changed midway or whatnot, trying to make it more kid friendly. So anyways, a lot of cool stuff can potentially come out of that, so that's really exciting to think about. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Are you excited for McFarlane are you guys excited or happy that he saved DC Direct? Do you think he's going to ruin it? What do you guys think? And what do you think about Todd McFarlane's own official personal store? Do you think he'll be able to put out more stuff, more exclusive stuff for his store? Stuff, more deep cuts and whatnot. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you are into the Suicide Squad, and obviously that you've probably heard by now, that movie is getting amazing reviews. I'm super excited to see it when it comes out, which is really odd to say because I wanted to hate it, but after watching those trailers, it looks like a really fun time, and I'm going to go in with an open mind, looking to have a good time, and it seems like everybody's saying that's what you have when you go watch that movie, so I'm really excited, and we'll probably talk about it in episode 3, because I'm going to go with my co-host from this episode, to go see it in theaters. And like we talked about Snake Eyes in this video later on, we're going to probably talk about Suicide Squad in episode 3 of the Cool Figures Toy News Toy Talk podcast. But talking about Suicide Squad, the whole reason I brought that up is because the Suicide Squad McFarlane waves are currently starting to hit stores. So if you're looking to build the King Shark and collect that wave, go start looking, start hunting. They're out there. Also, if you guys have not seen the leaked images of the Robert Pattinson Batcycle, or I'm sorry, not the Robert Pattinson, the Ben Affleck Batcycle from the Flashpoint movie, I'll show a picture right here. It looks very, very similar to the one that McFarlane Toys has for pre-order right now. It is still currently available for pre-order, I believe even at Target, but also Amazon. So if you're interested, because they have a very close similarity, as you can see right here. I feel like a lot of people are going to want it until he comes out with an actual official Flashpoint, Batcycle. So a lot of customizers are going to be wanting it. A lot of regular people are just going to want it to display their Batman figures, seeing as it kind of looks like it and it kind of matches up with that new Batcycle that will be used in the Flashpoint movie. So moving on from there, we're also going to talk about the new Disney Plus wave. I'm not going to go too deep into it because, like I've stated before, I do not collect Marvel Legends, but there were 2 that really stood out to me. So I'm just going to go ahead and list the name of all the figures that were released first, and that is Zombie Hunter Spidey, Captain Carter, Zombie Captain, Sorcerer Supreme, a variant of Gamora, Star-Lord, or Black Panther as Star-Lord. And the Build-A-Figure is the Watcher, which is like the big head of the whole What If series and whatnot. So the 2 that really caught my eye were, actually there was 3, I'll be honest. It was obviously the Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, that's really cool. The Zombie Cap, and the Sorcerer Supreme Doctor Strange. So those 3 figures look really cool. If I was going to pick one up, it would definitely be the Cap, the Zombie Cap. But if I pick him up, I kind of have to get a Zombie Spider-Man, because then I got a Zombie Cap without a Zombie Hunter, right? But then if I get him, might as well just go ahead and get Doctor Strange, because they're going to be tied together in the next movie. Rabbit holes, guys, rabbit holes. I'm sure you guys all know about them all too well. So with that being said, they also released a deluxe Hydra Stomper, which Captain America uses in, since he doesn't get the super soldier serum and Peggy Carter does, so he uses the Hydra Stomper, which is basically, big ol' Iron Man suits. But they also released images of a Vulture Target exclusive deluxe figure from Homecoming, which is really interesting because I just now realizing that we don't get figures from those movies like right away, or at least not all of them apparently, but that's really cool. He comes with the full wings and everything, so that's a really cool figure to have if you're trying to collect all those Spider-Man figures. And then they did announce a Walgreens exclusive Binary. I have no idea who this character is. I just wanted to show you guys the figure so you guys can see who I'm talking about, and I'm sure you guys do know. Are you guys excited for this figure? Do you not collect this line? Are you guys going to collect any or all of this line? I mean, like I said, I'm going to look at potentially, I think Zombie Cap's going to be added to the collection for sure. I think that's a for sure buy for me. Zombie Hunter Spider-Man, I'm going to have to see in store. And the Doctor Strange, I'm going to have to see in store as well. I'm not really too big on Marvel Legends, like I said, so I have no real need to buy the Vulture. And probably not the Hydra Stomper, but Zombie Cap's coming home and coming to this collection. So the next thing I want to talk about is Lego announced another AT-AT released for $799. $800, guys. $800 for a Lego set. I mean, it's nice, it's beautiful, it's big, it's a lot of pieces, but $800? That's a lot of money for Legos, guys. I mean, that's just me. Are you guys Lego collectors? Do you guys build Legos? Let me know down in the comments below. I did when I was younger, and I really enjoyed Legoland when I was younger, but as I grew up, I kind of got out of it. I kind of like buying my stuff already pre-built at this point. I don't have the time to sit down and, meticulously build stuff. Although I will say I have gotten some of their newer sets as gifts, and their instructions are a lot better than they used to be. They used to be a really vague. Now you get a lot more direction, and they also include that little tool to separate the pieces at time. Now I don't have to, when I was younger, I had to run to my dad's toolbox and he had like a flathead screwdriver and get it off. So that's nice. You don't have to do that. Now. So, but for me, $7.99 for especially for Legos, I'm not interested. Are you guys interested? And are any of you gonna buy the AT-AT? I'm really curious if you are. Have any of you guys backed Galactus? That's what I'm also wondering. I'm really curious. I personally am not. Like I said, I'm not into Marvel Legends, and I absolutely do not have the room to store that or even display that. And if I even suggested displaying that as a centerpiece in the house, my family would look at me like I'm crazy. So that is definitely not getting added to the collection. That's another reason why I didn't do the Razor Crest. Well, the Razor Crest was two reasons. Or it was actually three reasons. Too big to display in my room. I don't collect the vintage collection. I have all my 3.75 inch Star Wars toys from when I was younger. And I also wanted the 6-inch scale Tavern play set that they're going to be releasing by GTPS stores or toys. Sorry, not stores. So that's why I didn't do the Razor Crest. But also, that's another reason why I'm not going to do the Rancor. It's just really big, and I really have no need for a Rancor. I'm sure a lot of people are excited for the Rancor. Are you guys excited for the Rancor? Let me know down in the comments below. I really want to know what it is about the Rancor, because I remember even when Jar Jar was released, like everybody was like, oh, we're finally getting a Black Series Jar Jar, Jar Jar, Jar Jar. And then he started peg warming, and then he started hitting clearance. So I'm really curious to see how many people are interested in that Rancor. But we'll see. So we also have, sticking with the Star Wars theme, we also have a new in-hand look at the new Walmart exclusive Shock Trooper, Clone Trooper, or I said that horribly incorrectly. I'm sorry, guys. Shock Trooper from the Bad Batch series. I'll put up a picture right here. So those should be hitting stores soon. Hopefully pre-orders should be shipping out soon. I managed to get one. Hopefully they don't cancel it. But we all know Walmart, they'll most likely cancel it. I'm probably going to have to go hunting. So we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to NECA. So I did forget about one thing when discussing NECACon last week, which I'm really surprised because I did really want to talk about this. And it is the demo pack, the 2-pack from their Gremlins line. And not because I'm a fan of the Gremlins, but as I was stating in that last video, in the last episode, NECA has a way of making you buy figures and figure sets strictly for their accessories, and that's why this one really sticks out to me, because they come with dynamite, dynamite barrel, the detonator that you push down and whatnot. Knowing NECA, that thing's going to move up and down, which is going to be really cool, and you can use that for a lot of other figures, especially a Joker figure. So I thought that was a really cool accessory pack to add to a Joker. And talking about Joker, sticking with that, real quick, we're going to branch off to Mezco and we'll come right back to NECA. I did get my shipping notification for my Mezco Joker, so that should be coming in this coming week. So he should be on this table for episode 3 of the Toy News Toy Talk podcast. So I'm really excited about that. But they also teased a Robin figure. I'm super excited to see what that looks like, although I don't think I will pick him up. I'm not the biggest Robin fan. I am just curious to see what Mezco's interpretation of Robin is going to be. So that's going to be really interesting. So jumping back to NECA, if you did not know, they did put up Mondo Gecko and Muckman up for pre-order or order on their website, I believe Wednesday or Thursday. Obviously it's sold out by now, but luckily for you, they are starting to hit Target stores right here. I will show a picture of them in stock at a Target store. So look for them now and start hunting if that's what you're looking for. The other thing that's going to be hitting Walmart soon is the convention exclusive Super Shredder. So if you're interested in buying that, start hunting your Walmarts, because they said they will be shipping out. Let me see, I have my notes right here. Oh, it says shipping now. And they will also be available online for U.S. and international collectors very soon at a later date. And so they actually have been found in store. I have it written here, so I don't know if I have a picture of them found in store, or not sure why I wrote that down, but they may be already being popping up, at least in the East Coast, since NECA's, based in New Jersey. So the last thing from NECA is, of course, their Casey Jones Ultimate with the Elias face, and that is shipping now as well to Walmart. So if you're interested in that figure, start hunting for both those figures, or one or the other. It's up to you, but they are shipping now. So that is all when it comes to the toy news this week. So with that being said, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much once again for another year before we jump over to the second part of this episode. This episode is not over yet. Like I said, we have a super special guest host coming up in the second part of this episode. But we had to take care of the toy news and the toy haul first. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for sticking through this part, and let's get to some really fun stuff, and let's talk some G.I. Joe Snake Eyes, some unopened Star Wars toys, and just an overall good time. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next part. Alright, guys, so now that we're done with the toy news of the week, let's go on to our second part of this week's Cool Figures Toy News Toy Talk podcast. And I want to introduce my special guest for this week, the one and only Grammy Award winning Chris Brown.
Hello, guys, what's up?
Not nice. Really, but his name is Chris Brown.
Close enough. I got the name, so whatever.
So
but glad to be here.
Nice so me and him have been friends for about how long now?
Almost 10
Yeah, close to 10 years at this point. Because it was like middle of high school, and we've been out of high school almost 10 years.
Yeah, honestly.
Those 10 years creep up real fast.
Yeah, like you say, like around freshman year, high school, and we started at least hanging out in the same group.
Yeah, so it's been about 10 years, and we've basically like seen almost every movie together, basically, that's come out, like blockbusters, right? So almost every Marvel movie and whatnot. So today...
we have the posters to prove it as well. So we don't.
And the fucking receipts. Especially you have all those ticket
I
stubs
still have
on
all
your
the ticket
phone.
stubs, yeah.
I don't know how your phone saves them all, but mine deletes them all. Like every fucking
I
time.
still have a lot in my Apple Wallet, surprisingly.
You'll pull up ones from like, what, 2016, 2013?
Yeah, like, you'll pull up some like Winter Soldier ones and shit.
Just like, mine only goes back like 5 months ago.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, we finally got to see Snake Eyes today. So we're going to give you guys our review of it. Non-spoilers, so don't worry if you haven't seen it. We're just going to give you our take on what we thought of the film. So why don't you go ahead and start? Well, let me just ask you first. What did you think of Snake Eyes? Just as a film.
To be quite honest,
was it worth the money you paid to go see Snake Eyes?
The movie itself, in my opinion, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Really?
The experience was worth it because the first time seeing Dolby Cinema at the AMC that we have, so the experience was amplified because we were sitting in lazy boy chairs.
Okay.
And higher quality screen, but I didn't really like the camera work. I'm not even one that big in particular on that kind of stuff, but I feel like it was just shaking the entire time. That kind of, even when it was like a basic scene, like him and his dad walking in the beginning, it was like shaky cam. But I liked the action. The action was cool, which is what I was at least expecting, and main reason why I was so down to go see it, because obviously the action. But I don't know.
So would you say see it in the theaters or wait for it to come out to rent?
Shit. I mean, if you want to just go see, maybe, is it an IMAX?
I think it was like an IMAX and regular showing.
If you want to just go see an IMAX movie, or just like a Dolby, like the Dolby Cinema experience we had, with like some friends and stuff, yeah, of course, it's probably like, you can't have too bad of a time. Obviously, like I didn't have a bad time at all, but the movie itself, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it just depends. If you're going with a group and you just want to go see a movie for like IMAX or Dolby, then yeah, for sure. But I don't like a movie on its own. If that makes any sense, I don't
No, it does.
So, yeah.
And this is coming from, you're not really like a big G.I. Joe fan, right? Like you didn't grow up with the show or any kind of G.I. Joe
not
fan
at
as
all.
fan. You kind of just went for the action and the adventure of it all,
yeah,
right?
I know No, okay, take that back. I know G.I. Joe, obviously, just from it being such an iconic thing. I know it's an army and stuff and toys and it was cartoons and stuff, but beyond that, I was never really into it itself. The only time I really see it is those new movies. They basically
so what I'm getting at is you're just basically, your perspective is from somebody that just went to go see a cool movie.
Yeah, I'm basically just someone who wanted to go see a Dolby Cinema movie, just go see a film. So the movie also, the motivations were like really all over the place to me. They didn't really make sense, and I wasn't even really looking for anything deep or anything, but it's just.
Yeah, I have to admit, it was kind of hard to root for Snake Eyes the way he was acting throughout the whole movie.
That was
you
one
were
of my
just
points. Is he's he's kind of very unlikable. Like
you kind of start rooting for the villain at some points, and you're like, I kind of feel for the villain, like why he's doing what he's gonna do in the future. Got to a point
where I was like, I don't know if it was on purpose, because that's how obvious of an unlikable character he was. I don't know if it was like on purpose, but. I don't know. He was totally unlikable. At some parts of the movie. Especially, obviously characters lie and there's stuff in the movie. But he was like doing like beyond betrayals and stuff. Like making them, blood packs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was like very unlikable as a character because of everything. Like you said, there's certain lines that characters will cross when they're undercover. But this guy was, I mean, I have to hand it, though. You have to at least hand it to the director and the writer of the film to cross those lines. When most films would hold back and be like, this is where he's not going to cross this line. And so, at least in this film, it's like, oh, shit, he's crossing more lines than you would expect. And it not in a good way, though. Not in a good way.
Yeah, because you have this character showing him all hospitality and respect and all this, trying to make him...
And he's just crossing so many lines that he shouldn't be crossing, and it's just like, okay.
Doing everything. It kind of went into the realm of Jurassic World 2 for me. Where the character, you just want the characters just to lose.
Okay, I get what you're saying. That's
at least that's how I felt.
No, Jurassic. At one point, I was like, how does this guy ever become a G.I. Joe?
Yeah, and like when they were fighting when they were fighting during the Hyundai commercial. On the freeway, I was like, am I supposed to not want Snake Eyes to win? Or because
you kind of just
up to this whole point, he's just betraying everyone.
You kind of like that's what I'm saying. You end up rooting for the villain, and you're just like,
he's betraying the person who's
helping him and everything.
Betraying the person he's betraying.
So
he's like doing betrayals on. I don't know if that was like totally on purpose.
So I don't know, but I have two answers to this question. So I think personally it was a good action movie. Like it was pretty action packed. There was only one part where it slowed down really, and that's when we first meet Baroness, and they're just having like a long conversation. That's like the only time it slows down really for me. Other than that, it was pretty well action packed, and that's what I was happy about. I mean, they have a lot of shaky cam and whatnot. But I was pretty happy with the action. So in terms of an action movie, like if you just want to see a bunch of kung fu, swords flying everywhere, and fun stuff like that, then it's a good movie. But as a G.I. Joe movie, it is a horrible movie. It is a horrible G.I. Joe movie. There are so many ways that it could have been made better with just slight changes, in my opinion. And there's just a lot of underutilized characters, for me at least. Like especially Scarlett, they make it seem like she's so prominent in the film, and they just underutilize her so much. But I mean, the parts that she is in, she does kick ass, and she's pretty cool. So that's the good part about it. And the one thing I like about this film is that they make the women kick ass and badass without shoving it in your face. Like it was like you just saw them kick ass, and it was like, all right, that's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just naturally like fit into the movie. It was a natural flow.
Yeah, it didn't feel forced.
It just flowed in the movie. You're just like watching him kick ass, and you're like, holy shit, that old lady just kicked some ass.
Yeah, it just felt like, I've never seen it before, but it just kind of felt like a G.I. Joe cartoon.
It just felt like it fit.
just felt like a G.I. Joe cartoon playing itself out. On
It just
film
felt like
and
it fit. That's what I'm saying. Like everything felt like it fit in terms of like all the action sequences, and that's what I'm saying. Scarlett was so underutilized. Like I feel like they had more for her to do, but they wanted to wait till the second movie to really show her off.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I want Hollywood to stop doing, is stop making setup movies. Like, why are you gonna make a movie that's all set up for the sequel if you don't even know if you're gonna get a sequel?
Yeah, it gets to a point where you have to make a movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like, and obviously, because it's a movie.
And obviously, everyone's trying to do what the MCU does. Obviously, set things up. But look at the MCU on Iron Man, the first one. They tell a complete story, and then at the end credit scene that has nothing to do with the actual story, they introduce this underlining
story is over with.
Exactly.
And then they just sprinkle something in after.
At the end.
It's not.
Whereas this movie was like set up. Hope to God you get a second movie, or else all these setups are not going to be paid off. You know what I mean?
It kind of runs into. No, not as bad, but as an example, it kind of. You run into the effect of being the Amazing Spider-Man 2, where
it felt like that.
You're just all set up with
it's funny that it felt like that, and that
it's really nothing.
But it's funny that it felt like that, and that you point that out, because we were just talking about that before we went to go see the movie. I have the movie poster from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 premiere. You guys probably saw it in the first episode of the podcast, where I set up in my first one where I'm by myself. It's right here in the corner. Or at the beginning of this podcast, actually during the news. If you go back, you'll see it in the corner. I pointed it out that I still had it up there, and we were talking about that movie and how hyped it was, because we went with literally 3 carloads of friends that night. I remember it was also friends that we usually didn't go out and that didn't usually go out and stuff. So it was like a really fun night.
Cool experience, but
the movie was just so.
I know this is off topic, but I do.
Yeah, I know.
I still enjoy.
He can enjoy the Andrew Garfield
movies. I enjoy it.
Okay,
it's the weirdness.
Okay,
they got the weirdness factor of Spider-Man.
Answer an argument for us. Was Andrew Garfield too cool to be Peter Parker / Spider-Man? I think he was too cool.
I don't think so.
I think he was too cool. He was too cool.
He was cool, but I think that's just like a cool version of Peter. Like, you know. It's just,
but I feel like that's just never been like the whole.
He feels like perfect. Hopefully it happens in the new, but he feels like perfect multiverse character where it's like
okay, I'll give you that, but at the time but I'll give you that. But at the time he wasn't a multiverse; he was an actual Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and the thing about Spider-Man, he knows he can be cool with all his powers and everything, but he holds back so that he isn't like assumed to be Spider-Man.
I still enjoy him because I've always had a thing for the Lizard in Spider-Man stories, and they do the Lizard special effects are like top notch. Still,
I'll give you that.
I like the weirdness. That's because Spider-Man is weird. You know, everything about him and the villains he fights are, you know, weird creatures or some form of something strange. And
I'll give you that.
They kind of lean into that a lot, like, you know, the lizard. It's a dude who turns into a fucking lizard like it does in the games and comics. And then, you know, the second one may have sucked, like story-wise, but, you know,
it's all set up.
It's a guy who's made out of lightning. You know what I mean? He can hide in.
Well, let's see if he can redeem himself. He's coming back for the next movie, so let's see if he can redeem himself.
Hopefully, I have confidence in Kevin Feige that he can make something.
I'm just wondering when we're gonna get the trailer.
A week before the movie comes out at this point.
Well, yeah. Honestly, at this point, I think there's so much hype behind that movie that they know that they don't need.
They don't need trailer for audience like us, but they still need marketing. So I'm wondering when they're gonna release the trailer for the general, because you just wanted a trailer in general for the, you know, the more general audience that doesn't really, because we know when it's coming out. We're going to be there whether they even show a photo of it or not.
Wouldn't that technically be the second Marvel movie to come out this year?
Let me see. So I saw Black Widow, and then
there's no other Marvel movie in between Black Widow and Spidey, no?
You know, Shang-Chi comes out this year, and Eternals, I think.
Before Spidey?
Yeah. Let's look up the Marvel slate right here.
Sorry, I know we were talking about G.I. Joe, but, you know, things go.
Yeah. You know, that's just what happens.
It's all good. We're segueing into things. We'll roundabout back to G.I. Joe after.
Let's just make this point real quick. So Black Widow, Shang-Chi.
Oh, in September.
Eternals. And Spider-Man, dude.
Okay, so because see, I was thinking that it's only the second Marvel movie, so that people would be hyped for no matter what, just because it's the second Marvel movie in theaters. But there's two more.
Yeah, Marvel's got me good. Before we go back to G.I. Joe, Marvel's got me really good because I couldn't really care so much about the big overall arching story now that they're about to probably prep. I know it's going to be cool. I'm not saying it's not, or at least I hope to be cool, but they got me good because I just love seeing movies, like whether it's IMAX or the new Dolby Cinema. I love seeing it in the big experiences, and I like superhero films. And as long as they're entertaining like they have been, like they kind of sucker me into just seeing them automatically. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of because I like to go to the movies just to see, because they're so expensive over here, at least where we live. Those are the movies
you would pay to see.
Those are the movies you pay $20 to go see over here.
Well, yeah, that makes sense because it's like big experiences.
They got me in this loop.
It's kind of stupid to pay. It's kind of stupid to pay for like comedies or dramas around here because it's just like, well, if you can get it on streaming, just get it on streaming here because you're paying $20 to go see this movie. You might as well make it an experience.
They got me on all those movies. I didn't think I was really gonna see Black Widow necessarily, but I've been in the movies in a long time and.
Well, that's why I wanted to see Snake Eyes too, because it looked like a really fun, action-packed movie, and I haven't personally been back to the theater since Sonic in 2020. That was my last movie.
Mine was, at least you saw that. Mine was Rise of Skywalker. Oh.
That must have left a real bad taste in your mouth.
I would say that to myself when I would remember it. I'd be like, wow, that's the last movie I saw. Rise of Skywalker. Such a shame.
Well, at least now you got a better taste in your mouth, I guess. You saw Snake Eyes, you saw Black Widow.
My first movie back was Fast and Furious.
Oh, that's right.
Fast 9.
See,
that's a whole movie in its fucking self, man.
And see, like that's another Transformers style movie where you go just to see fun shit.
They almost lost me. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
In Fast 9, not because I love I love all of them. Like honestly, like I've only seen Tokyo Drift when it was like out. Like 2005 or whatever. But I love all the Fast and Furious movies, but they're almost getting me on the.
It's like too outrageous,
like a little too much side. Like
that's
what I'm there for.
Well, I mean, they go to space. Like, I mean, how much more outrageous can they get? They go to space. Where are they going to go? To Atlantis next?
They're lucky it's a funny movie. And I know they know it's dumb themselves. Even it's like almost fourth wall-ish on. How
I heard Tyrese Gibson breaks the fourth wall in the movie.
And I don't remember a specific part, but I'm sure he does.
Because I heard he looks over and he's like, "Yeah, I can't believe we survived that."
Oh
too.
yeah, and he's like, "We survived tanks, trains."
Yeah. He's like, we're invincible or something like that. Like,
yeah.
I haven't even seen the movie, but I've heard about that.
And they all like the other characters, they think they're going along with it in the actual movie, but they actually. Right after they cut it in the trailer, they all call him an idiot for saying that kind of shit. Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? They're like, you just sound like a fucking moron. Like, basically, in the movie. But,
hey, I made the movie.
Yeah, that was my first movie experience back, which wasn't bad. It was, the story was so dumb.
But but like I said, that's why I said it's more of like a Transformer style movie where you don't go to see a storyline. You go to see some shit blow up. And some awesome, crazy shit that you just don't see. And see, that's the thing about movies nowadays. They're so grounded and realistic. It's like the point of movies was to take you out of reality, to put you in a place where reality doesn't exist.
That's why I enjoy them. Because
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. It feels like an old school movie in the sense that, it's not grounded. People aren't like, well, that can't actually happen. Well, no shit, it's not. It can't actually happen. It's a movie.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
And I've always grown up with my parents saying. Stuff in movie can't actually happen. So, like when unbelievable stuff happened in movies, I knew like, well, it's a movie. It's in the script,
Exactly, yeah.
So, and I feel like, honestly, I feel, and this is just my personal conspiracy theory, and it's not even a conspiracy theory, it's just my own belief, that Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight series ruined Hollywood cinema. Because his portrayal of a grounded Batman was so great, epic, and iconic that Hollywood completely shifted and was like, we need to do this with every fucking genre.
Like everything gritty and grounded.
Yeah, and it's like Batman worked because of it's Batman. That's just who he is. He's gritty, grounded. He doesn't even have any superpowers.
Yeah.
That's why I personally love him and look up to him, because I knew if I worked hard like him, I can be like him.
You know what? I just made up a conspiracy theory right now. It has to do with Dark Knight and Man of Steel, because I know a lot of people, believe it or not, ridicule Man of Steel because it's too much of a grounded movie.
Yeah, gritty, dark and gritty.
And I would argue, well, one, that's just Zack Snyder's style to begin with, and two, I would argue it was perfect for them because it's a fact that Warner Brothers wanted Christian Bale's Batman before they had Ben Affleck.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
they offered him $50 million to play the part, and he turned it down for whatever. He's probably over it.
Yeah,
he did a trilogy, which is understandable.
I heard he didn't want to come back for the third.
I feel like they played into that, and one, that's just Zack Snyder's style. So you can argue it's just Zack Snyder, but one could argue they played into that a lot too because they also wanted Nolan's Batman to be canon to Man of Steel.
That makes sense.
And so it has,
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
if it worked out, say Christian Bale said yes,
essentially,
the movies have to.
So
make
essentially,
sense,
Christopher Nolan did mess up cinema.
Yeah, at least he
messed up cinema by making such a great trilogy.
He made such great Batman movies that DC
and all of Hollywood
is just forever.
But not just DC, but all of Hollywood. Even comedies and dramas, they're just like so grounded in real life now. It's like, I want a movie where I can go and see some crazy shit and know, it can't happen in real life, but no shit. That's why I pay $20 to go see some shit that I don't want to pay $20 to see something I can see in real life for free.
I think that's why Marvel movies also do
so well because they are still marvelous,
like,
big adventures.
Want to go see a movie where
there's space aliens and all this other crap?
Go see a movie with a group of raccoons and trees talking.
That's true.
Fighting alien, you know what I mean? It's just like
that's true. That's true.
That's where I feel like that's why they're so successful, and I feel like that's why their movies are probably failing as well because they're taking themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
When they should be, at the end of the day.
It's
like, I want
I
want the movie itself to be taken seriously while it's made, but at the end of the day, it's, like Superman and like Iron Man and all them. They're the dudes getting in suits and flying around and saving.
But regardless, just in general, movies are movies. There should exist in something that isn't set in reality.
Yeah,
in my mind, there should really be no ties to reality, and Hollywood really needs to reject that idea that movies need to be tied to reality because every great iconic movie has nothing to do with reality. I mean, look at Wizard of Oz. I mean,
those are the best kind of movies.
They're fantasy. They're the ones that take the audience out of the real world for a bit.
Well, just think of Star Wars. It's the biggest movie of all time.
Exactly.
Because it's, but.
So, anyways, getting back to G.I. Joe, final thoughts. What do you think? 1 to 10, what do you think?
Oh, man. I'm trying to score this movie without the...
Just if you, as a moviegoer, 1 to 10, if you just had to just think from what you... No real thinking, just 1 to 10.
I would probably give it... trying to commit to a score.
Okay,
maybe a 5.
A 5?
Maybe a 5.
Okay, well, I'd score it a little higher, and okay, well, kind of like my first answer where it's split, I'd have to give it a split score. So as a G.I. Joe fan, because I did grow up not with the original series, but I did grow up with incarnations of G.I. Joe, the more upgraded ones for our generation and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I do kind of have a background with the characters and whatnot, so I do know who they are and kind of their storyline. And so as a G.I. Joe fan, I'd have to give it a 2. Like, seriously, 2. I mean, just the fact that they let Snake Eyes speak, he's historically not a very silent, but just a silent character that doesn't speak. He's a ninja. He took a vow of silence. And that's what I'm saying. There's very minuscule things that they could have changed in the movie that may have been a little difficult for the audience, but it would have made it better for the movie because it would have fit in better. So obviously everybody knows, it's not a spoiler, that he talks in the movie. So had they made him silent in the movie and maybe used sign language to communicate, like maybe after the traumatic event he took a vow of silence, because it kind of ties in, because he was supposed to be silent.
Or just like some like Master Chief approach where he just says a couple lines here and there, maybe.
If they really need him to say something, like just say something here once. Although Although I don't know if you've heard of the movie Willy's Wonderland. It's a horror movie where it's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, where like the
Nicolas
amateur.
Cage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage, his character says absolutely nothing. So it's not like we can't have movies where famous people or the main star can't say anything, because we have that example, and that movie did really well. And Nicolas Cage literally says nothing throughout that whole movie. So I mean, it's not like we can't have a movie without a character saying something.
Yeah.
But Hollywood always has to push that. So that's what I'm saying. There's little things that can fit and that really change it to where, as a G.I. Joe fan, I have to give it a 2. Just the fact that they got so many characters in there, I'll give it that too. As a G.I. Joe fan, you know, I mean, they got Scarlet, Baroness, Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes. So considering that it was a Snake Eyes origin and they were able to fit in those extra 2 G.I. Joe characters, although heavily underutilized, I feel like they could have used them a lot more. I have to give it a 2. But as a film goer, like if I just wanted to see some kick-ass action, probably a 7. A 7, because it did have a lot of fun action scenes. But if you aren't a fan of shaky cam, then yeah, I would have to score it lower.
I actually enjoy shaky cam. It's just when you're just talking and having a conversation, I don't think there should be.
Oh yeah, well,
shaky cam.
That's a different story.
Because I like movies with shaky cam, but with action, but when there's action.
No, yeah, that's a different story. All right, guys. So with that being said, we're going to move on to the next segment of this episode, and that is, like I told you in the first episode, we are going to go ahead and go through a bin of old Star Wars toys that I had when I was younger. They're sealed, still in box. Surprisingly, as a kid, I didn't rip them open. Like that's what amazes me, is that I have these figures still in box that I bought as a kid.
Yeah.
Like me as an adult right now, when as soon as I buy something, I'm like waiting till I get home to open it. Yeah. And as a kid, I had the self-restraint not to open these. So
that's what I wish I did with my Sam Raimi Spider-Man toys. I had a ton of them and just open them and no idea where they went through time, and you can't find any.
Isn't that how it happens?
There
always?
Is no Sam.
Isn't that what happens to everybody?
There is no Sam Raimi merchandise out there.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Like,
yes,
for expensive on eBay. You can,
yes.
Tobey Maguire Spider-Man was like $130. Just for him and himself.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'll give you that, because I did look into it, and yeah, no, there is. So, but anyways, guys, next up we are going to go ahead and look into that bin, and not only that, but after we pull out all the figures that I have, we are actually going to go on eBay, and I am going to show Chris certain figures, and he's going to guess their value, and I will look them up on eBay, and we will go ahead and see if he is correct or not. So that is coming up right now. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to the part where we look at all the figures that I kept from my childhood, sealed up in box. There are quite a few actually, and they're all Star Wars toys. So why don't we go ahead and get started. First one doesn't actually fit in the box. It's actually a 2-pack, and it's really big. Ooh. And it's actually a 3-pack in a way, because there's 2 ATRTs, I'm sorry, and 3 figures in here. I wonder if the price tag is still on here. No, there's no price tag on here, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't more than $30 when they came out.
I was about to say, usually stuff like this around that time were like $30-$40, maybe $50.
So that's the first thing we have. That thing didn't even fit inside the box that I have, guys. So
now Disney's like $89.99.
Right, just for those.
99.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So the first thing I actually have is this really cool poster. It's one of those holographic ones. Has Yoda, Obi-Wan, Mace, Anakin, and this is actually one of CERN, because it says the certificate that is printed on here authenticates this as a limited edition of 5,000 prints produced in 2005.
Oh,
I didn't even know that.
So the same year of the movie releasing.
Apparently so. I didn't even realize that it was a limited print.
That's pretty.
I'm glad I saved it.
Yeah, pretty cool. And still has the wrapper on it. Like.
Yeah, I never took it out. I don't know why. I don't think I ever actually framed it. So to keep it from getting like all dusty and everything, my parents were like, "Well, just leave it in there." You know, It's already stiff as a board because it has the cardboard in the back. So let's dive into this pile of Star Wars toys, because it is literally a pile. We have stuff from Power of the Force all the way to probably episode 3. So why don't we get started with the one and only Ben Kenobi.
It's a nice one.
So some of these were actually gifted to me by my uncle because he is a collector. So some of these were gifted to me from him. Next up, we do have a Power of the Force Boba Fett right here. So this thing was $5. $5. Now anything this size is about $12 easily.
This is the 2000 stuff, right? Or no?
No. This is 95. This is the 90s stuff, dude. So we also have a Hoth gear Han Solo
95
right here. So there's that. Just go ahead and stack it there somewhere. Next up, we do have Lando Calrissian. Oh, we have another Ben Kenobi. So we have doubles of Ben Kenobi. So let's try to see if I have any double. Let's try to keep track of how many doubles I have.
So far, Ben Kenobi.
We have a Death Star Gunner.
Okay. Can't go wrong with Death Star Gunner.
That's pretty cool, right? Oh, this one's actually open.
Nice.
So we have a Princess Leia. Oops. Apparently that I opened back in the day. That I have.
It's still not bad. It still looks pretty.
You know what? I didn't open it. It fell off the card back.
Oh, that definitely looks like it. Literally, just looks like it nicely
fell off.
peeled off. Yeah.
So this one actually fell off the card back. So let me see if I can find the card back while I'm digging through it. But since it's already open, why don't we just take the princess out right here? Put her little cape on. Take her little blaster out. Did you know that the unique thing about these old Star Wars toys is that not only would they come with the blaster that they used in the film, but they wanted to add a little bit more, so they would give them a unique, just random blaster.
Oh, really? That's actually pretty cool.
Just because they wanted to fill it out just a little bit more for the people that bought it. So that's why a lot of these classic Star Wars toys, like if you look at this guy right here, he comes with a Stormtrooper gun and then some random heavy blaster. You can see that he comes with a Stormtrooper gun and then a random heavy blasters because they just wanted to give people more, and also it appealed to kids. You remember when you were a kid how like bigger guns was just more appealing to you.
Can't go wrong with accessories with the the toys you're getting.
But that's what
Especially
I'm saying.
Nowadays they just come with nothing.
Exactly. So since she's already open, let's go ahead and stand her up right here. I don't know if you guys can see her, but we got we got the princess right here, just standing. So she's already open, so we'll go ahead and leave her there. Oh, next up we have one of my favorite, Sand Troopers right here. I love Troopers. Troopers are my favorite in the Star Wars universe. Yours are droids, right? You like droids.
Oh, yeah, droids are my favorite. Droids are the coolest.
See, he prefers droids, and I prefer Troopers, whereas I just really don't see the appeal to droids. I mean, they're cool and all, but you really like droids.
Yeah, I think the droids are super
I mean,
cool
you built a droid.
Yeah.
So you really like droids.
I think they're super cool in Star Wars, especially prequel. Awesome. Super battle droids. Buzz droids, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Fighters.
I'll give you that.
Awesome.
Well, talking about droids, we do have a R5D4. The one that should have gone to Luke, but that blew his what was his motor?
The Empire would have won if that's the one that Luke
got, right? Yeah. So that might be a key figure, guys. I mean, maybe this figure should be worth more than what it is.
Emperor Palpatine's plan goes very smoothly without R2D2.
That is true, dude. That is true. I never thought about that. I mean, that
R2D2 might be the chosen one.
Well, continuing with droids, I'm gonna pull out a figure right now that I really like. It's weird to say, but as a kid, I wanted certain figures that I never had or found. But as an adult, when I went through this bin, I was like, holy shit, I actually had these figures and I never opened them and played with them. So sticking with the theme of droids, I have a Destroyer droid.
That was going to be the next thing I was going to say. I was about to say the droidicas, I would always have some of those, especially with the blaster.
I always wish I had these growing up, and I had one. I just never opened it. I don't know why.
I loved having those.
I have no loose droidicas. I think this might have been the only one I found in store, so I never opened it.
Yeah,
but
droidicas are cool.
This thing is cool, and it comes with the shield too. You see?
That is pretty sick.
That is so cool. That's the thing about these old Hasbro. Look at this one right here. It came with like the whole base and stand for
That's
Mustafar.
crazy, yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see, but it came with like a whole base and stand right here. And I mean, back then they would just pack these things with accessories, and for like what, $8?
Yeah, literally.
It was like
reminds me
literally.
of like the Transformer toys. When the Michael, I mean, I had Transformer toys before the Bayformer, Transformer, but they got really good, actually. Still, ooh, excuse me. Believe it or not, like they actually had some really solid Transformer toys.
Yeah,
with
they
the
did.
With the Michael Bay ones.
films,
and
yeah.
if you look at a Transformer toy now, they are so freaking basic. Like they literally they like transform into these like.
Well, hold on, you're gonna catch a lot of shit from the Transformers fans. You gotta remember, this is a toy channel, bro. So
Yeah,
you're talking.
but
Hold on.
yeah.
I just want to say, because you are on a toy channel, bro. So a lot of Transformer fans might come for you. I just want you to know there are separate categories of Transformer toys that some look better than others.
Yeah, but I understand that. That goes for almost most toys out there. There's always the baseline, but I'm talking like the most accessible Transformer toys now, of what they were, are way less quality, which is my main point. Like a Transformer toy I would have bought back when I was younger, to like buying one now, it's way more simple. Like comparing it to like the Megatron I had and
yeah, back then those things were probably
the tanks,
massive.
They were pretty decent Transformer ones. Like the Megatron, that took quite a bit of freaking
work to transform.
Yeah, he was pretty big, but now like if you get a Megatron now, at least the ones that I see, like easily accessible ones, they're blocky and like it's still full parts of the Transformer, and
I'll give you
without
that.
it being folded a couple times.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's what I was mainly going for.
Okay, I'll give you that.
They're less intricate.
Okay,
the baseline ones are less.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's why they have different levels.
Well, except for that Megatron one, he wasn't the baseline one. I think at the time maybe that one was like.
That was like a step up or two.
That one I think was like the $60-$80 one. Yeah, because
back then
you could put like batteries inside them and shit.
Oh,
He was big enough for batteries.
Oh shit! Damn. Well, times have definitely changed because plastic costs a lot more now.
Yeah,
so.
no, yeah. I mean, I don't expect anything crazy, but I'm just saying the baseline now is a little bit less than
what it used to be.
Yeah, what it used to be. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm just glad Star Wars toys have improved and upgraded. And talking about that, here's the Power of the Force Death Star Trooper. I have a Saga Collection Death Star Trooper. As you can see, the differences in the two. It's the same character, but you can see the upgrades in them since the time has gone by, and they've come up with better sculpts and whatnot. So next up is one of my favorite, and that's the thing about plastic now, is it costs so much that companies make it's hard for companies to come up with a lot of different toys nowadays. Back in the days, it was a lot easier, and this one is really an example of that. And it's the holographic versions of certain figures.
Darth Maul.
So this one's the holographic Darth Maul. They actually came out with the holographic Commander Cody as well, which I have. Not in package. I opened it up and played with it, of course, because it's a clone trooper. And like I said, I love troopers. Speaking of troopers, we have a Elite Corps clone trooper.
Those ones are cool.
The ones that fought on Kashyyyk during episode 3.
Ones,
yeah. So those were really cool. And the really cool thing about these figures back in the day is they came with this extra figure in the back. So holographic figure right here. I don't know if you guys can see right there.
And everything about Star Wars Episode 3 is just total badassery and just awesome.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, Episode 3, I mean, if you speak to fans of the original series that grew up with the original series, they're gonna talk down the prequels, but we have to agree that Episode 3 was peak Star Wars.
That I understand.
Choreography, everything.
The original trilogies are the original trilogies. I'm not taking away anything from those. Iconic, change cinema. That all still happened. It's still true. But if you're just gonna get down to the core concept of Star Wars, Episode 3 is all about it.
No, it is.
It's everything you can possibly
from start to finish
need and want from Star Wars.
Like literally, as soon as it starts, when you see them entering battle,
space battles, got it. Droids, got it. Lasers and explosions in space,
lightsaber battles, lightsaber
like,
battles.
over the top lightsaber,
Actual lightsaber battles in a Star Wars movie.
fucking video game style lightsaber
Exactly.
battles.
Exactly.
And Force, literally all of it, like literally the whole shabam.
Exactly.
Like, and literally the best, and it's the most mature one too, of all.
So I actually have 2 of these sealed still. So I don't know how much these are going up for.
So that's another duplicate.
Oh, that's right. We're keeping track of duplicates. So we have 2 Obi-Wans and 2 Elite Corp Troopers so far. So going back to the power of the Force.
Be technical, 2 different kind of
Death Star Troopers.
Yeah.
That's true. But
same different kind.
I think in terms of duplicates, I was talking about more of like exactly the same figures.
Yeah.
So, but next up, we do go back to the power of the Force with a Hoth Trooper. Now, this guy was definitely really cool. I don't know if you want to take a look at it. Yeah. Chris has never seen these figures in my collection, so
yeah,
that's why I'm giving him a look too. Because
that's why I'm
just like you guys,
me just looking so much because I've never.
I mean, while these are in pause, if you want to pull them out and look at them, go for it, man. So next up, we have, of course, the main character of the original trilogy. Can you guess who it is?
Luke Skywalker?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That was a trick question.
There's only 2.
We have Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker from Episode 6. Right there.
There's nothing... I know I just said that about Episode 3, but in terms of just looks and coolness, nothing really...
People would argue with you the Ewoks are a little in Episode 6.
No, not Episode 6 itself, but I'm saying the look Luke has as a Jedi Knight
is prime Luke.
Just so good. Just that and Anakin Episode 3 outfit. Those.
The funny thing is he's just wearing an all black suit, but it works.
It just meshes well. He just looks like a total. It just screams someone who just knows what they're doing. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean it works. It's an all black suit. There's just something about all black that works with certain characters. I mean,
it just meshes well. I mean, Obi-Wan looks cool too.
Yeah, he does. I mean, but that's just because he's the master.
Yeah, Obi-Wan's the best, and I'll argue to the end for that.
All right, so moving on, we do have another clone trooper. We have a 442nd Siege Battalion clone trooper in box. I actually have 2 of these opened already, so that's probably why I kept this one in box, because I already have 2 other ones open. Going back to the power of Force, we have Yoda, but not just Yoda, but with the training backpack that attaches to the Luke that was released back in the day. So that's really cool.
That is cool find with the backpack.
I don't think I actually have that Luke, unfortunately, though.
It's weird how something as simple as accessory as a backpack makes like something like that much more cool.
Another double.
Oh, okay.
So we have 2 442nd Battalion Siege troopers. So technically I have 4 in my collection, 2 opened and 2 right here in box. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't know. And with sticking with clone troopers, we also have a 5th Fleet Security clone trooper right here. Go ahead and take a look at that, man.
That looks clean.
So like I said, I love troopers, even if the only difference is a few blue marks. I mean, screw it, I love them. So I'm going to keep collecting them. And honestly, if you look right behind Chris, you can probably see my love of troopers right here. I mean, especially Mandalorians. I have 6 loyalists, 6...
Talk about duplicates.
Yeah, talk about duplicates. I mean, army building, right? I'm even talking about duplicates up here.
Look how many Martys he has.
I just love those neck of... I mean, did you ever think we'd ever get Back to the Future figures like this?
No, that is pretty nice.
I mean, come on.
Especially that accessible. Like the fact that you can
army build basically Martys and Docs.
The fact that you can get some of these at just Best Buy and
Dude,
Target.
That's the crazy thing.
That's cool. That's the cool part.
All right, so now we're gonna get to the 2 big boys that I know for a fact are probably going for a lot on eBay at this point, and we have the Treachery.
Any Bark Speeder is gonna go for some.
We have 2 Bark Speeder troopers with Bark Speeders. Go and get a closer look at that.
Damn, I didn't even realize. I used to have, not the double one, but I had the Bark Speeder.
Man, and the funny thing is, like I said, as a kid, I wish I had these, and I did. I had them, but I just, for some odd reason, I chose not to open them. And for that fact, I'm going to keep them sealed, because if I had that much restraint as a kid, why would I open them now?
They've gone this far, you might as well...
Dude,
keep them like that forever.
I just found some stuff on the bottom of this bin that I shit you not, I thought was gone forever.
What is it?
Guys,
I'm just
oh
in the dark
my
as
God.
anyone else. I
Like,
have no idea what he's talking about.
Dude.
He's hyping me up just as much as anyone else.
I mean, I shouldn't be hyping you up because it's really nothing to be hyped about. It's just something that I had thought about recently that I was like, man, I wish I still had. And I was like, I probably got rid of it a long time ago. And it's been sitting at the bottom of this bin. So we have one more figure set to get through. And then I will show you guys what I have sitting at the bottom of this bin.
Let's see what it is.
So last but not least, I saved one of the biggest sets that I actually have that I actually looked up recently. Well, not recently, but a few months ago. And it did say it was going for about $350 sealed and brand new in package.
What?
The Hunt for Grievous.
Oh, nice.
Right there, guys.
That's a cool set right there.
And if you guys have been following the toy news recently, especially last week, you'll know that they just announced Vintage Collection and Black Series releases for the Clone Trooper Captain as well as the Blue Clone Trooper ARC Trooper. So I don't know if these are going to go up in value now or if they're going to go down because they're re-releasing. Well, they're not re-releasing them. They're coming out with new upgraded versions. But this is the original sealed in package, never been opened.
I can't imagine them being depreciated at all. If anything, I just feel like worst case scenario stay the same.
I mean, this is just one of the coolest sets, though. I mean, in my opinion. And the funny thing is, I always wanted these figures growing up, and I've had them in my possession the whole time. And I didn't want to open them when I was a kid. Like I said, my uncle is a collector, a lifelong collector, and so that's where I got it from, and that's where I got all these Power of the Force figures from, actually. Excuse me. So I think that's really where it came from, that I wanted to save a few figures. But getting to the bottom of this bin, dude, like I said, there's some stuff in here that I thought I had lost. I feel like I'm hyping you guys up a bit too much because it's something,
hyping me up.
it's something from my childhood that I'm excited for, but it is still Star Wars related and it is still really cool. So, first off, I have these really cool watches from Burger King back in the day.
Holy crap.
So I don't know if you remember these.
I do remember these.
There's Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise. On the other side, he is a Stormtrooper.
Oh my God.
And when you pull it out,
I so remember these.
You have the Stormtrooper on one side and Luke Skywalker on the other.
Dang.
So who's on that one? Show the camera.
This one's
Show the camera.
Yoda. And then you got a Count Dooku on the back.
Alright, I'm going to hand you the next one.
Let's see what this watch. So you got Yoda's eye in his full face, and on the other side, a glimpse of Count Dooku himself.
Show it to the camera.
Let me see.
So this is episode 2. So I showed you A New Hopes right here with Luke in Stormtrooper disguise and Stormtrooper.
I know it sounds crazy. This feels weird to feel. I mean, it feels weird to hold.
Nostalgia. It's nostalgia in your hand.
It's
literally nostalgia in your hand.
Very strange. So right here, it looks like the front you got Count Dooku, and then on the back, it's more of a Yoda pattern.
Dude, I might wear this watch.
Oh,
this has fucking Boba Fett on it.
Ooh,
How did I not know this? I have a whole Boba Fett shelf. I think this is gonna go on my Boba Fett shelf. So this one has Han Solo on it, and this is the Empire Strikes Back one. And on the other side, you have, of course, Boba Fett. So that is really cool. Go ahead and show him that one next. So there's Han Solo's side and Boba Fett's side. Shit, you know what? I think I'm gonna put this on for the rest of the show.
Wish I had my Apple Watch on me. I have like more of a modern take on this. I have a Mandalorian Apple Watch bands with Grogu and freaking Mando.
Go ahead and show him this one.
Okay, so it looks like we got the Obi-Wan up front, episode 1, and Darth Maul. Okay, I'm liking the Darth Maul side. This one is pretty nice. And then on the back, it looks like you get the Obi-Wan going on. Same kind of photos.
Alright. So I have episode 6 next. I'll let you show off episode... Oh, I'll give you the best one. I'll give you episode 3. You can show off episode 3.
Oh, nice.
So I have episode 6. One side you get Jabba the Hutt. And on the other side, you get Slave Leia. Oh, I'm sorry. Hutt Slayer Leia, as Disney is calling her now. You know, because the way it is.
Or in trouble, Leia. Trouble Leia.
Is that what they call her too?
No, I'm just, it sounds nicer than slave.
So here she is on this side, and then you got Jabba the Hutt on the other side.
So I got the Revenge of the Sith one right here. So we got Anakin right here, and then right on the other side, Darth Vader. Okay, so it looks like the front of this one is Anakin Skywalker, and then of course, you know, the backside as well, Darth Vader.
And real quick, before you put this one away, the cool thing about this is, even though he said the front is Anakin and the back is Darth Vader, these were these old school ones that just switched.
Oh, my mind is blown right now. Holy
so
crap.
you can literally have either character
I
on
was
either
literally
side.
about to say, I wish the Darth Vader was the one in the front.
Well, you could have either one.
Wow.
That was the cool thing about these. Remember when Burger King and McDonald's actually had cool shit like this?
I was about to say, remember quality kids meals? Man, I remember going all around town with my dad, trying to find all the Rocket Power.
Oh man, that was a long time
Burger
ago.
King kids meals.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long. I remember Otto. If you're
I'm
familiar
pretty
with Rocket
sure
Power,
most of the people watching this don't know who Rocket Power is.
Yeah, Rocket Power. It's on Paramount Plus. You know, if anyone gets that, but Rocket Power. Yeah, I remember one of them. One of the characters was hard to find. If you've ever heard of Rocket Power, Otto was like the main character.
Yeah.
He was impossible to find at Burger King. He was the
Really?
one that was always gone. I remember me and my dad just going around town, literally just buying kids meals or asking around, like if they had an Otto.
Those were the days, right?
Yeah.
Going around to Burger King and
they
McDonald's.
were solid kids meals, like toys you would buy like at Target. Like it was a full detailed like character model. You can move its arms and legs, and it
Damn.
came with their specific board
Oh shit.
with like actual movable wheel. They were like
That's crazy.
actual. I used to legit.
Nowadays it's just like a little slug. You just
Yeah, nowadays the wheels probably wouldn't even move. It would just be like one whole mold.
yeah,
because it's
probably.
just so cheap.
All
You know
right.
what no, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say next thing that I found was a bunch of Star Wars related like magazines. So this one was one from when the animated series was released. Right there. Go ahead and show them that.
Okay, so we got some. Clone
This
Wars
one's so
action.
old. It has a fucking Toys R Us CD-ROM on it.
Oh my god.
This thing has a Toys R Us CD-ROM. All right, now we're really getting into
2008.
okay. I think you can tell how much I loved this magazine growing up by how worn it is. Look how worn the edges are.
Can't go wrong with Obi-Wan as the front cover.
This literally came out the year that the movie came out. That's how long I've had that in my
Badass.
possession. I also have another one about the history of Star Wars. But now we're getting into some stuff that I really thought I had lost forever. I have the Comics Companion Star Wars book from back in the day.
That
it's just
is-
a bunch of
This
cool
is
Star
all
Wars
probably
art.
deemed unworthy.
Oh,
by
yeah,
Disney
nowadays.
nowadays.
I also have a first issue Star Wars graphic novel. So it's all put together. It's not the first edition series or anything.
This one right here is worth at least 1.5 million.
Oh yeah, totally.
Just kidding.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I also have. So these are essentially all the comics that were put out during like A New Hope, Empire, and Return of the Jedi right here. I got these in bundles with something. I think these either came with action figures or movies. I can't remember which one, but they came with something like that. I'm not even going to go through this because there was just... Oh, these are even comics from other... Oh, talking about G.I. Joe, I did grow up with... Here's proof that I did grow up with G.I. Joe properties. I have those comics and these comics. So... Oh, that's what happens, guys. So I also have Republic with
Okay.
Obi-Wan and some clone troopers in the background. It's really cool. They actually just released some figures from this line, from this comic
looks
figure.
pretty cool.
So that's pretty cool. And an actual Storm Shadow comic. Ties into our G.I. Joe topic.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I
take
guarantee
these
you,
back.
I've never read that, but it's probably way better than what we watched.
Oh shit. So this has absolutely nothing to do with Star Wars, but I just
Oh.
found some of my old Amazing Spider-Man comics.
You know what I should come we should make a video on talking about all the comic books I have. I have a lot of X-Men, Marvel, and DC comics we can go through.
So these things I thought I lost forever, and I was really thinking about these hard. And these are the Adventure series from the 2002 Clone Wars series.
Oh, nice.
So this one was probably my favorite because of the cover. It's all the
it
clone
is
troopers
nice,
and
yeah.
everything. So I honestly thought I lost all this stuff right now. So I'm pretty happy that I found this, and it probably has to go just because of this podcast. You know what I mean? Like I would have never gone through this bin
Yeah.
had it never been for me having the idea to go through it.
Never
for this
thought
podcast.
you'd even have a bin of unknown stuff.
I mean, I literally have big Star Wars graphic novels that I honestly probably bought just for the cover. Because, I mean, look at that cover.
That is pretty cool.
Look at that cover, guys. I mean, it's so cool. So, that's pretty cool. So, let's go on eBay. Let's see some of the values of some of these figures. Let's start off with...
Let's look up an Obi-Wan.
Okay, let's look up an Obi-Wan. Power of the Force, Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. Power of the Force. Oh, here it is.
How much is he going for?
95. This one's going for 1988.
Okay, so that's not too bad.
Not bad. So it looks like it's averaging around $20.
Okay, so let's look up Bark Speeder 2-pack.
Let me see.
Look up Treachery on Salukami. I'll spell it out for you. Treachery on S-A-L.
Oh, it pops up.
Oh, shit.
So it looks like this one's...
Oh, it has a varying amount of prices.
Okay, so this one's varying a bit. So you got...
Anywhere from what, 50?
55 to that looks like the highest end is 175, and it has a one review, so it looks like someone deemed it worthy of
being $175.
$175.
So you got this one for $175. Well, $50 to $175.
Yeah, it looks like it's ranging from there, and it looks like, well, the only ones looks like with reviews are the ones with that are 80 to 175.
Well, that's good for me if I ever want to sell them, but
yeah.
Not that I ever do.
Let's look up Power of the Force Yoda.
Look up the right one, though. The Jedi Trainer backpack. Well, Power of the Force. Yeah. That's the one.
Okay, so it looks like this one's averaging for around $10.
So that's not too bad.
Yeah, so fully sealed, looks like it's going for around 10.
So trash. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding,
so
guys.
you know your average, price for just about what you'd get nowadays.
All right, what about the Droideka? Look up a Droideka from. Let me see what. This is from.
Droideka.
What? Or just look up Destroyer Droid. It'd be that one right there.
Yeah, this one.
But are there any sealed? It doesn't look like there's any sealed in box.
So looks like I saw a couple out of the box for 20. That's with no box. Droideka.
Look up Destroyer Droid. Because I think that's what it's actually called. So that under that, it might come up. So no, even under that, there's no actual in-box versions of this one.
Not really seeing a fully boxed one.
Shit. Can I have the only one? At least on the market?
Yeah, it looks like at least for listings.
Oh, wait. Oh, that's not even the right one. Because mine comes with a blast shield.
Yeah, yours has the shield, and I'm not really seeing any of them.
So the price for this Droideka is undetermined. We can't find any in box, but the one that we found out of box is $20. So I don't know how much this one would be.
Yeah, so
in box.
Looks like it's going $20 for no box. So I would maybe assume with the box like $40 maybe.
I'd say that's fair.
Yeah,
I say that's fair.
$40.
I say that's fair. Look up Power of the Force Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker.
Okay, so this one kind of has two varying prices. Looks like there's an $8 one, and then it also looks like there's a actually $40, which is on sale right now for 31. But that one also has 12 reviews. So, I mean, I wouldn't. Obviously, people are buying it for $40. 12 reviews, 5 stars in the box.
So we'll say $40.
Yeah, I would say in the $30-$40 range for sure.
Okay.
People are reviewing it at that price.
That's not too bad. All right, let's look up one of the bigger ones. The Hunt for Grievous. Let's see how much this one's going for. And we used to get some really cool packs back in the day. Right here, look, you had Jedi versus Sidious, Jedi versus Sith, and you would come with a lot of figures. Look,
Right, huh?
and for probably about $30.
Oh, so it looks like this one's ranging around 123, 175.
So see, it is going for the most so far.
Yeah, I can't find I can't find a listing for that under 140. It looks like, so that's a pretty solid find right there.
Yeah, too bad I'm not gonna sell it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely good thing to keep keep hold of.
Oh yeah, especially with the new releases of the Clone Wars figures. Let's look up some clone troopers. Let's look up 442nd Siege Battalion. 442 Siege Battalion. Oh, so it's been about from what, like $20 to $60?
This is a $20 to $60 listing. So it looks like there's a $25 one with 3 ratings. So it looks like people are buying it from $25. So yeah, up to 60. Not
Okay,
bad.
so it's not bad.
That whole range right there, $25-$60.
All right. Why don't you pick one out of the pile and see which one you want to look up?
Let me see.
They're all Power of the Force. I have a few over here that I put down.
Let me look up the holographic. I know the holographic ones are, in most toys, are usually the most popular. Let me look up holographic Darth Maul. At least $20.
You say 20?
At minimum, at least. I'd be very surprised.
I say 40.
Okay, wow. And Funko Pops came up and $10,000 for a Funko Pop.
$10,000.
For the Funko Pop.
Whoa, that is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Was it that hard to get?
Apparently so, for it to be deemed $10,000.
That's pretty intense for a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of gotten to the mindset that it's not even worth retail price for me at this point. So, like, just the fact that someone is paying, or someone might potentially pay $10,000.
Okay, wow. I'm actually a little bit surprised on this one. Looks like it's ranging for like $10 to $12.
Oh, shit.
Holographic Darth Maul.
So that one really just didn't hold its value at all.
No.
It's funny how that the Funko Pop is worth so much, but the actual figure.
Would they make like 2 of those? One? $10,000?
$10,000 for a Funko Pop? It doesn't even move. It has no articulation whatsoever. It just stands there.
Fucking just has an angry face.
And this one you can move around. You can do all kinds of poses and whatnot. And okay, I mean, like I said, I didn't keep these in box because of value or anything. Oh yeah, let's look up the Boba
This
Fett.
is stuff you like to keep.
Yeah.
Look up the Boba Fett one.
Look at Power of the Force Boba Fett.
At least 20. Come on, Boba Fett. He's got to be worth $20.
Has to be. He's a fan favorite.
Wow, Boba Fett, you disappoint me once again.
Oh, shit.
$13.99 looks like 14.
You know, I think the reason why these prices are so low is because Power of the Force was very overproduced.
I was
to be
about
honest.
to say, was it manufactured to hell?
It really was, because that's when they were really starting to really push Star Wars toys again, and so they were just manufacturing them to hell. So it makes sense. So I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, like I said, I'm only really keeping these figures sealed because I kept them sealed as a kid, and it's like if I had that much self-restraint,
Yeah, you might as well just
keep them. And honestly, like some of these that I have here, my uncle gave me other doubles that I did end up opening, and so I do have some of them open already. These are just doubles that I didn't open, so you know it's not too much of a loss. So, are there any other ones you want to look up real quick?
I think at least the ones right here. It looks like we looked them up. We looked up the Kenobi one first, the holographic Maul. I guess if you
Look
want
up
this one.
Well, no, look up the Assault Squad ATRT pack. That's the big box we looked at first. This one right here. ATRT Assault Squad. So that one's actually going for the most, or one of the most. Yes.
Okay, so that's it right there. Okay, so it looks like this one's averaging
$50 to $100.
Looks like the ones in box. Oh, yeah, there's one right there. Well, $30 shipping, so the $80.
That one's $100, isn't it?
That one's $100.
That's what I'm saying. It's averaging
That
from
one's
about
listed
$50.
as great price.
Oh.
So, because that one has free shipping. The other ones have
Paid shipping.
$50 with $30 shipping, and
So it comes out to about $100 eventually.
Yeah, $85 with $70 shipping.
75.
Damn. Where's it
Does it
coming
really cost
from?
that much?
Skywalker Ranch or what?
Even if it did, that's only up the state, dude.
$449, 2007 Target exclusive.
But
Uncirculated.
But it is in a box, like
It's like a box in a box.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, it says uncirculated, so it doesn't.
So it was never on a Target shelf.
No, it was never.
So a Target employee got their hands on it before anybody else.
Yeah, there's a 149 one, new in box.
So essentially, it's in the hundreds.
Yeah, definitely. At least $80 to $150.
Okay, so not too bad. It's not like great, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, no, nothing terrible. That's for sure.
All right, so I guess that's the last one we're gonna look up. That was like the last big one that I actually had. So, basically that's the end of the show, guys. We talked about Snake Eyes. We just saw. We talked about some cool action figures that I have still in box from my childhood. But before we get to the end of the show, I just wanted to say thank you to Chris for coming on, being my first host on this show, on my second episode. Like I said, guys, I want to keep this interesting and mixed up for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And before I let Chris say all his outro stuff and whatnot, I did want to gift you this classic Power of the Force Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Hell yeah.
Open it, keep it in box, do whatever you want with it. As you can see, I am not an in-box collector at all.
Keeping it in the box. For sure. I still like to roll that way. Keeping them in the box.
So thank you for coming on. Do you want to
Appreciate the
plug?
gift. Awesome.
Do you want to plug anything? Your podcast, your own stuff, anything?
Yeah, actually, I am starting up one. The working title, I'm gonna probably title it Chris Brown Talks, but it's still a working title.
You sure you want to name that? Because people might think you're the Grammy Award-winning Chris Brown.
You know what? They'll be even more surprised when.
Although that might work to your advantage though, because they might think, oh, this is like Chris Brown started a podcast, and then they'll realize like it's not Chris Brown.
Yeah, no, they're.
But at the same time, if they don't see your face, I mean,
it's enough.
Just try to sound like him a bit.
Right, huh? I'll try to sing here and there on the podcast as well. But no,
I think that should be good.
Yeah, but it was definitely awesome being on the here on the show. So definitely good to be back, and awesome to receive the Power of the Force Obi-Wan as well.
All right, guys. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me for episode 2 here on the Cool Figures Toy News Toy Talk podcast. I had a lot of fun once again. I hope you guys will join me next week once again. I don't know quite exactly what we'll be doing, but hopefully it's fun and exciting, and you guys will tune in. So with that being said, I am your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys, and him as well, talk about G.I. Joe and toys and everything else we discussed. I know we went on a bunch of tangents and rant. rants. But like I said, I did not start this podcast to be a news podcast. Although we do talk about toy news, I want to talk about toy news and go more in depth into things that I do like. And that's basically what we did today. And we're going to have some fun with this podcast and whatnot. So with that being said, guys, I will talk to you guys in the next video.